live, episode 21. Here comes Santa Claus. If it's your first time tuning in, tune in to the first 20 episodes. This is episode 21. Again, this is Tyler's Talking Sports. I myself, Tyler Castle, co-host, brother from another mother. On the other side of the mic, Tyler Hess. What we do here is we talk about sports. We got a banger of an episode for you all. It'll be 6 a.m. actually when you're listening to this. So today is 12/20/2023, 6:48 p.m. If you're listening, it is Thursday morning, 6 a.m. Glad to have you with us. Hopefully you're on your way to work or you're listening to us throughout your work day or whether it be after work on your ride home. We do appreciate y'all stopping by and listening. Had a lot of feedback this week on episode 20, some really good takes. I was out at the gym lifting, had some guys come up to me, tell me they love the podcast. It's always good to hear. Hess constantly keeps me updated with the text message you all send him as well. And then, of course, we do have some viewers that, constantly keep us updated with sports news and try to get us, notified as quick as possible for that too. So we definitely appreciate y'all reaching out. Hess, and we'll go into our sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hit them up because without those people, probably wouldn't have the power to keep this podcast going.
That is very true. The first sponsor, if you've listened or tuned in before, it's going to be Next Level Fitness Club here at 1806 East Main Street, Lebanon, Virginia, 24266. They are a 24/7 gym facility, 24/7 tanning. They do have certified personal trainers. Also have some classes going. They have a class actually tomorrow night if you're looking for an opportunity for a HIIT, which is a high-intensity training workout. If you're looking for something, to get you moving, very good. Yeah, you see Hess there. If you're watching video, moving around, but it is free. All you have to do is bring a canned food. It will go to our local food pantry, so we are doing that, donations. But again, it's a free class, even if you don't have to, you don't have to bring the canned food.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt it, but canned food, if somebody is may not interested in doing the class, could they just drop off some canned food?
They can drop off some canned food too to Next Level Fitness Club. Yes, we'll be staffed tomorrow till 6 p.m. or Next Level Fitness Club will be staffed till 6 p.m. rather. So swing on by, drop them off, and there's always going to be someone there, even if it's just a member. They'll let you in just to drop off cans, and we will actually run that to the local food pantries. We've been doing that for a while. We have great member support, not only with the food pantries, but with White Christmas and just all the kids and everything that, our members help support. So great stuff going on there, but check those guys out. Again, 1806 East Main Street, Lebanon, Virginia, 24266. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook at Next Level Fitness Club, and also check out their website at www.nextlevelfitnessclub276.com.
Awesome. Love it. Another one we got here, really not a sponsor for us, but it's just an organization that we both really like, and they've actually supported a lot of local sports teams and stuff here in Russell County and Lebanon, but that is Isaiah 117 House. If you don't know who they are a house foundation or a nonprofit organization. They have houses throughout many counties throughout the United States, 20. I think they're in 20 states now, but they provide a place for the kids that are awaiting foster care, a place for them to spend the night, a place for them to actually have their own bed, their own room, a home-cooked meal, stuff like that. So we just really like them. And if you're interested in possibly having a house in your county or being involved with Isaiah 117 House, visit them on their website at www.isaiah117house.com. They also have a Facebook, Instagram. You could also reach out to me, and I can get you some contact information to some of the bigger people involved with the organization. So we like them people over there at Isaiah 117 House. Absolutely incredible nonprofit.
Yeah, absolutely. One other thing I wanted to note to you guys, it will be 12/21 again when this goes up. So this will be the last episode before Christmas. Again, our next episode will be on Tuesday, 12/26, 2023. And then we'll be back on Thursday, and then we'll go back to our regular Thursday schedule. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all y'all who listen. Hope you all have all of your shopping done by now. Hopefully you got your presents wrapped. If not, join the crowd. I still haven't got my presents wrapped, but I do have all my shopping done. But yeah, right up to the deadline as normal.
Yep, and guys, if you do hear a baby or somebody crying in the background, I do apologize for that. My daughter is not feeling the best this evening, and she's kind of fighting a cold and nonstop cough, so trying to fight that right now. So just kind of ignore that. I'm not torturing kids or anything in the background or anything like that. But yeah, as Castle said, Merry Christmas to you guys. Hope you all got your stuff done. We have yet to wrap our gifts either. Got them. Ain't wrapped them.
Got 'em.
So.
Yep. Well, the wife and I already decided we're just going to do bags and tissue paper this year. There's one thing I'm going to wrap for you, so feel special.
Nice.
But other than that, I don't know if much other stuff we're going to wrap. So not much of the wrapping person myself.
Yeah, wrapping
More
always
of a-
that all to the wife.
Yeah, more of throw it in a bag, throw some paper over top, and roll. So I'm probably going to wrap some stuff for Hudson just so he can open it up.
You better.
Other than that, yeah, I know, right? But guys, went through the sponsors. Hess, you want to run through our socials real quick?
Yeah, guys, if this is your first time listening, or maybe you just, for whatever reason, randomly called us on Spotify or Apple, be sure you follow us on the social medias. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok. We're also on YouTube. Also, if you're listening on Spotify and you want to switch over and go to Apple, we're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Amazon Music. We're on Sirius XM Radio. We're on iHeartRadio. And we're also on Cloudcast as well. Also, as far as our Facebook goes, we've been having a goal before the end of the year to hit 250 followers. We are actually one follower away. So if there's one person out there that listens that's not following us yet, or maybe you have a buddy or a family member that is not following us yet on Facebook, holler at them, get them to follow us on Facebook so we can hit that goal of 250 followers on Facebook. It would be really huge for us.
Yeah, we're trying to hit that before the new year, guys. So we got some time, but let's hit it. 250 would be awesome.
After our social media stuff there, after you get done following us and everything, you're listening to the podcast and you're starting to really fall in love with it, here's something really cool. Hopefully, I've been working on it a little bit in the background, but hopefully by the first of the year, middle of January, we'll have our own podcast merch store. So we'll have T-shirts, hoodies, beanies, coffee mugs, blankets, backpacks. I mean, you name it. We'll have our logo on it. You can pick the colors that you want for it. Hopefully be able to get that up by the first of the year, if not the middle of January, so y'all will be able to shop online from your phone, from your computer. Real simple little thing, especially if you want to show off your merch and help support us. So, but the other thing we have going on also right now for another t-shirt, if you're wanting a t-shirt, the Bowl Mania. We have a Bowl Mania update.
Yes, we do. We actually shouted out to this user, so we figured out who it was based off the last episode. So the Appy State Aggies is actually Andrew Mays. So shout out to you, Andrew. If y'all don't know Andrew, great guy. He always comes at me. He always comes at Hess, but he brings it, and he tunes in every episode, so we definitely appreciate that. Mm-hmm. He better hope he never messes up. That's all I got to say. But anyway, so some updates on our Bowl Mania. There is currently 3 people in first place at 8-1. We got the Hills 002 picks 1, Satisfied Castle, and then Beamer's Bird Dog sitting at first at 8-1. Then we drop down to 4th place with looks like 5 people in 4th place now. That is the Tennessee tight ends, which is Caleb Johnson, Purple and Gold 92 picks, Stooters 12's picks 1, Can't Spell Citrus without UT. What rhymes with orange? And then in 9th place, we got Brian Long at 6-3, Blowhard Hess, which is Hess, at 6-3. And then we have 6 people, actually 5-4. So there's 5 and 4 guys. Hopefully they can bounce back. But
yeah, a lot of bowls left.
A lot of bowls left. A lot of unpredictability.
So you say we had Purple and Gold 92?
Purple and Gold 92, yes.
That is Aaron Privet.
Aaron Privet is in that.
Yeah, LSU fan.
Nice. Yes, he's joined some of our other ones. I know that. I think Stooters is actually Andy Stoots, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice, Andy.
I don't know who the other ones are. So if y'all are listening, let us know.
Comment, post, messages.
Yeah, I don't know some of these names. Somebody's name's Caleb's Couch. I don't know who that is, but I love it. Andrew, you fell off, man. You 5-4. You fell down there a little bit.
He messed up, didn't he?
He messed up. So far, I'm not going to try to eat my words. So far he's messed up. But yeah, guys, we do appreciate y'all joining. Again, that's the most people we've ever had on a bowl. We're going to continue to do these. Like I mentioned in the last podcast, you got March Madness, always a big one. So we'll try to get that out there very early, get it up as soon as we can, and try to start getting some entries in on that. And maybe we can do a cash prize this next time, or another shirt, or maybe we can switch it up. But y'all let us know what you think. If you like this one, definitely let us know.
There's another one I'm actually thinking about doing. We actually, as me and Castle have done it for years now, we've involved other friends and stuff. We do a college pick'em throughout the year. We also do an NFL pick'em. We had already had that stuff started before we started this podcast, so that's why it hasn't been up and able for you all, the listeners, to join us. But hopefully next year we'll still be going, still be cooking along, and we'll add you all to that one. And I've also thought about doing a possible, I'll put a poll out there later on in the year, probably around before it kicks off next year, but doing a fantasy football through the podcast. And then you'd be the Tyler's Talking Sports Fantasy Football Champ. So we'll see how that goes. But we got a lot of stuff planned for 2025. I'm really looking forward to it. And some
2024, folks. He skipped a year.
Yeah, I did that today at work all day. I do not want to go to 2024, guys, at all. Do not want to go to 2024. I was putting in jobs.
I don't know why not.
I was putting in jobs today at work for January 2nd, 2025.
Yeah, I feel you there.
It's
all the year-end stuff with the 9 to 5 jobs right now. So,
but yes, guys, we do appreciate all the participation we've had in all of our polls we posted in this Bowl Mania. This is awesome. We love it. But let's move on to our newest segment, which is starting not to be new anymore. We've been bringing up the last couple of episodes. Hot takes. Castle, what do you got?
Yeah. For this episode, I really had to think about this one too. I thought about it on and off throughout the day when I had some time. But I went with, are you ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready.
The 2023 pitch clock with MLB.
Okay.
I think these rules, I'm going to go over the 2022 rules as well with that. But if you're a fan of baseball, I think the rule change saved baseball, honestly. I feel like MLB, actually, I don't feel like it. Stats even show from 2017 up until last season, the actual viewership was actually going down. So it was dying before they made these changes. Now with the pitch timer at 30 seconds, that sped up the game between the batters. So if you're not familiar with that, if you're not really into baseball, used to, the pitcher could take as long as he want. Yep. Batter could take as long as he want, many timeouts. I mean, it could just keep dragging on. Now they have 30 seconds. I think the batter gets to call one timeout. Is that right?
He gets one timeout, yes.
It's one. I think one. So yeah, that changed and sped up the game. Baseball games used to go. I remember games going 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
Some easy. And now most games are 3 hours or below. Now also too, they have a 15-second timer with bases empty in between pitches, 20 seconds with runners on base. When they did that statistic, that reduced the game by 26 minutes alone, just by making that small change. So you get about half an hour back of your time. They also increased the limits to pickoff to 2. So everybody knows if they try to pick off to first or second, wherever the runner's at, after that second pick, if they try again for the third time and they don't get it, the runner automatically gets to advance. So with that increased the steal attempts in the past season. Excuse me. The steal attempts went from 2.23 steals a game to 2.83 in 2023. Wow. Yeah, very, very cool. I loved reading these stats. Yeah. Defensive shift. Now, this, of course, happened in 2022.
Hate the shift.
But minimum of 4 players on the infield with at least 2 infielders completely on either side of second base. Of course, this was intended to increase the batting average on balls. We didn't really see it increase that much throughout the year, even with the defensive shift banned. At least I didn't. You might have, but I didn't see much of a difference in batting averages. I think pitching is just elite, based off batting averages over the course of the years. And then lastly, the bigger bases, which created a 4.5-inch distance shorter from first to second and second to third. So I thought that was
every inch
cool.
matters, man.
Every inch matters. 4 inches is a lot. 4.5 inches.
4.5. That's a whole lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But we're talking about 4.5 inches. It also helps too when the runner slides. Helps them stay on the bag, a little bit safer for the game. So just really love the changes. And apparently the fans did too. There was 5% more attendees this year, averaging 26,753 audiences per game. Of course, that doesn't include the A's because they're terrible. Double telecast viewers from 187,000 to 304,000. I thought that was incredible.
Wow.
And then last year, the total attendance for the 2023 MLB season was 70.7 million. A 9.6, almost a 10% increase from the previous season, and the highest it's been since 2017, which was the last time it surpassed 70 million. So hats off to the 2023 rule changes. I really think that improved the game of MLB, and I truly do believe MLB was a dying sport, as bad as I hate to say it because I love Major League Baseball. But I believe it was a dying sport before they made these changes.
I don't know if I would say it was a dying sport. I think it became more of a purist sport. It became a me and you would continue to watch it whether it was falling apart or not. And it was kind of falling into the NASCAR realm of things. Like people who watch NASCAR are probably your more
straight NASCAR.
Yeah, and I think baseball's going that way with a lot of it. But the rule changes did help the game. It brought in people I think, more females to it, because I mean, I don't know how many times I've wanted to watch a baseball game and Chris is like, well, I don't want to turn on to the 7th or 8th inning. But now, it's like it goes by faster. I don't have to watch 4 hours of baseball.
A lot faster.
And it's more exciting. A lot more stuff happens, I felt like, last year. Maybe it was because I was watching the Braves all year. Maybe it's because of that offense is what made it so exciting. So I kind of like to hear it from another perspective of a team that maybe wasn't as dominant or at any time having a prolific season. But the one thing,
the Yankees.
You all, but still coming in, y'all were hyped up until Judge got hurt. So I mean, I want to hear somebody like
Athletics,
a Royals fan, an Athletics fan, somebody like that. But
I got you.
The one rule that I would like to see them change, that they changed a couple years ago, get rid of the whole extra base runner. The guy goes on second in extra innings. I hate that because one, it penalizes the pitcher. It's hard enough to come in a situation and pitch to not give up a run when there's nobody on base, but then when somebody's already in scoring position on second, I mean, it makes it so much harder. And then in the playoffs, they don't use it. So if you're not going to use it in the playoffs, how many games were won or lost because of that extra base runner and extra innings of regular season that changed who made the playoffs or not? I mean,
but you got to do something though, right? Because I mean, these games could go.
Don't start it off in the 10th inning. Let's say, okay, if we hit the 16th inning, then we're adding a base runner. Kind of like college football does. They start out their overtime normal rule. I mean, they start at the 20, but normal rules, you score a touchdown, kick extra point, and then the same thing for the second overtime. Then you have to do a 2-point conversion in the third overtime. So you make it a little harder. So let's say if it goes 3 innings, the 13th inning. If you're in the 13th inning, okay, now let's put a runner in scoring position. Maybe not put him on second, put him on first.
Not top of the 10th. Yeah, I got you. No, I like that take. I mean, I think you have to do something because they're trying to increase the game speed, but you can't go full fledged like the NFL, sudden death, and you get the ball, you score, it's over. You can't do that. So you got to have both sides equally play it. But I would like that inning, maybe like the 11th, like you go through one inning, nothing happens. Okay, next inning, let's bring in a runner on second.
Yeah.
Or let's really make it spicy. Let's do a runner on third with 2 outs.
I'd say if it gets too far, then you can do it. But see, that's another thing too. These guys, managers, and now in baseball, are starting to be like, all right, who's getting out in the ninth? We're probably not going to score a run here in the bottom. Well,
they start making changes.
So then they're like, all right, I'm going to pinch hit my fastest guy here. He's probably going to get out, but he'll be my pinch runner to start the 10th inning. So you start seeing that stuff. So let's kind of just wait an inning. Let's delay it a little bit. But I do 1 inning. Yeah, if I had to make that change. And then, if it goes 2 innings, like I said, I would start switching up, all right, runner on second with, 2 outs or 1 out. Try to speed up the game somehow. Yeah. So I'm with you. I like it. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I have my hot take, if it is my – are you ready for mine?
Let's go, baby.
All right. Mine's really not a hot take. I couldn't really think of something to really just get going, but something came across today, and – the more and more I found out about it, actually came from my wife. She's seen it, and she's like, is this true? Have you and Tyler seen anything about this? And I hadn't seen nothing, and then I started doing some research.
Uh-oh.
There are some really strong – mine's going to be a hot take. It's going to be a hot topic. There's some really strong rumors swirling around a university out there right now that has lost a lot of players to transfer portal. They've lost a lot of people in their secondary. They've lost a couple linebackers. They've lost a couple of other players. And a lot of people are kind of wondering, hey, what's going on? Well, there's a big rumor going out there that Kirby Smart is interviewing for the Atlanta Falcons job. And that he is highly interested in joining the Atlanta Falcons because they've already said they're going to probably move on at the end of the year from their current coach, Arthur Smith.
Oh, my. Dropping a bombshell on me.
Yes. I seen it. I was kind of like, nah. I actually have the message to Chris. I was like, nah, not happening. I started doing research on it. It's everywhere. 24/7 Sports is talking about it. It's all over Twitter. There's some speculation that there's some bunch of players that have heard about it, and they're not committed because Kirby's not committed to them next year.
Right.
Not saying he's going to go, but there's rumors that he's not 100% sure of what he's going to do next year, and that's why these kids are leaving.
Wow.
So I'm sitting here kind of worried about it in a way because I don't
Yeah,
think
no doubt.
I don't think Kirby would leave. But my thing here, I guess I'm going to throw at you. Let's say
Okay.
Kirby does leave. Where does Georgia go from there? Who do they go get?
Ooh, dropping a
At
shell
this
on
point,
me right now.
at this point,
I mean, I think you're going to look. Wow, I guess it just depends on when that news would break. Honestly, but before we started recording, I saw some stuff on Jim Harbaugh. I didn't get to read it, but obviously it would not be that route. But I think maybe you go after Dan Lannon from Oregon. I think you maybe bring him back. But again, it just depends on when, like, if all this broke loose, like because Dan Lannon has an amazing class coming in next year.
But hey, with this whole transfer
and he's
thing,
building. Yeah, I know he transfer. You know what I'm saying, but he's already committed.
Yeah.
So he's already got his class. He's already done all of his recruit.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got Oregon's shaping up to be very good. That's what I'm saying. Year.
I don't think Kirby would leave Georgia in a bad. Like I don't think
they're not. Here's the thing. Sorry, I'm just going to interject there. Whoever takes the Georgia job, if he did leave, is set up perfect as long as they know football. Like you all have been stable for 20 years. Even before Kirby Smart, you were a stable team. You were. You didn't have the terrible years that Tennessee's experienced, Texas A&M, Florida. You're gonna pull up some stats.
Keep talking.
Seriously, y'all haven't been that bad in 20 years.
Just keep talking.
Okay,
I'm listening.
But I'm just saying, it would be a stable foundation.
Oh yeah,
you're not building brick by brick, like Butch Jones or freaking what's his face down in Florida, dummy. But whoever takes that job, I'm getting at it is like as long as they know football and the right pieces, they should be successful at Georgia. Like Georgia's kind of like, I mean, they are Bama pretty much. So whoever takes Nick Saban's job whenever he retires, they should be set up and ready to roll. Like it's leaving in good hands. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying there, and to add,
I'm gonna throw one out there. I'm gonna throw a name out there. This might surprise you. Dabo. I look for him. Yeah.
Ooh, yes. Dabo leaving Clemson to go to the rival of Georgia. Ooh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that.
Coaching the SEC. Absolutely.
I don't know about that.
That would be a good fit.
He's getting his contract. I mean, he's getting paid the same as Kirby is. I mean, essentially. So,
but he ain't gonna compete in Natty.
I got a topic about that coming up here in a little bit.
I mean, he might. Clemson's been there, their most recent ACC school, but yeah, I'm gonna throw. You asked me who I thought. I'm gonna throw Dabo out there.
I mean, that's interesting. It's an interesting way to look at it. I truly don't think Kirby leaves. I don't see it. He's ingrained. He's alumni. This is his dream job. But bigger things have happened, and I mean, maybe it's something he's pursued. Maybe he's felt like he's dominated college football, done what he's done at Georgia, and now it's time to turn the Falcons around. He wouldn't be leaving home. Yeah, he wouldn't have to relocate his family. I mean, he wouldn't have to change his color of his clothes.
No.
You talked about though Georgia the last 20 years. I mean, you're right. I mean, they've been a very stable program. The worst year they had was 2010. They went 6-7 in 2010. Since then, they haven't lost. They haven't had less than 8 wins in a season.
So I'm getting at stable.
I mean, it is a stable foundation, and Georgia's got. I mean, there's football program now, but from where Kirby took over in 2016. From that point on, they've been one of the richest programs in college football, bringing in recruits, money, doing big things. So whoever does take it is set. But I like the Dan Lanning. I like that one a lot. But let me tell you who I think they would go get. My opinion. I go call Todd. I go no. I call Todd Monken. I call Todd Monken back, our offensive coordinator from last year. I call him from the Ravens and say, "Hey, you've done good in the NFL. Come back. You know this team. You help recruit some of them. Come back."
Man,
I just don't know. I just don't know what you do that late because you're not going to pull the big. Dan Lanning would be the only one because of his connections to
Jimbo Fisher.
Oh God.
He gonna get double pay, baby.
Jesus. I mean, I don't know. That would just be. But that job comes open. No. I mean, I don't think there's a coach in the country that wouldn't be like, huh.
I mean, you might see SEC school.
I mean, other than like Nick Saban or your people that. But I don't think there's anybody out there that wouldn't be like,
would turn it down.
But it would, like you said, it would be hard because of the recruiting classes. Today was early National Signing Day. You've made these commitments to these kids. How does that affect that? I don't know. Maybe they go get Dion.
That would be. Oh God, I hope not. That would be huge, man, because that would kind of rock the East a little bit.
It would rock. It wouldn't just
as a Tennessee fan, like, and kind of in a way, I'm like, ooh, maybe okay.
I mean, it wouldn't.
Like, that's a positive in a way, but it would just, it'd rock the whole college atmosphere, really, because Georgia's top dog.
My thing is, though, too, I mean, the reason I'm leaning on him not going, it just kind of worrisome. You see the rumors out there, is the fact Carson Beck said he's coming back. I told you today that there's speculation that, or I think it was last night, Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey's coming back. They're bringing in Ladd Humphreys from Vandy. They have a number 1 recruiting class coming in next year, which we're going to talk about that as well. I don't see him leaving, but gosh, if he did.
Man, did not expect you to drop that bombshell. I'm going to read after this pod.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go Vols.
Yeah, that's my hot topic.
I like it. I mean, I don't like it for you as a fan. I mean, you never want to lose your.
I mean, it's news, man.
Your dynasty coach. I'll say what he is because he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, wow. Stranger things have happened. We'll see what happens.
Hey, Nick Saban left LSU after winning a national title and went to Miami. So,
and that didn't pan out. So
it would have if ownership.
Question. How do you think if he does go? How do you think he does in the NFL?
Kirby's discipline.
Real quick, keep it quick.
He's successful. I'm not saying he's next Bill Belichick and will win Super Bowls, but I do think I put him in the same categories like Pete Carroll. He left USC, went to Seattle. I see that with Kirby. He's got that knowledge. He's not leaving the state. He's not leaving a comfort zone. And to be honest with you, if you play for the NFL right now, 9 times out of 10 you're from an SEC school, so Kirby Smart knows who you are.
Yeah.
So
he knows football. So
yeah.
I think he'd be successful too. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah. Was not expecting. Like when you was going through transfers, I was like, well, Texas A&M's losing a lot. Florida's losing a lot.
Yeah.
SEC, and I was trying to think, and then you said Georgia. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but they have lost a lot, and then even there for a second, I thought she's going to mention Tennessee because we've lost a lot. So, but we're picking them back up today, baby. Picking them back up.
Did good today. But before we continue on and start talking about what happened today in college football, we want to throw out some betting parlays. And guys, don't trust me on anything I say because after last night, I don't know if I'll ever bet again. I had a $50 parlay, which was a bonus bet, wasn't my real money, so it don't hurt as bad. On 4 games, Providence beating Marquette, which I didn't bet that at the beginning. I betted that after they was going to win just to add to the parlay. And Montana State over Utah State. And then I had the Celtics over the Warriors and then the Suns over the Trailblazers. And it was going good. Providence locked it up. Montana State, buzzer beater in overtime, 3-pointer to win by 1. I'm like, I got this. I go to bed. The Celtics are up 12. And the Suns were up. I think they were up 3. So I was kind of worried about that one. But, hey, it's the Suns. It's KD, Devin Booker. They're going to win.
Bill.
Yeah. Yeah, Bradley Beal. I don't know if he played or not last night. I can't remember. But anyway, I wake up this morning, and both of them lost by like 10. I had a payout of like $750 and didn't get it.
Man, Vegas always knows.
Oh, and then John Morant screwed me out of the other bet earlier that day. It would have been $1,300, and he had a game in his first game back, hit the buzzer beater, and won the game for Memphis. The only game I missed there. What about you?
Yeah,
you got some stuff going on tonight, but
yeah, I got some stuff going on tonight. And again, guys, I know we're doing bets tonight, so you'll already know this by when you're listening, like if we won or lost. But what we're going to try to do for Sunday's podcast or Monday's upload, which will be Tuesday this coming week, we'll try to play some bets or tell you all some bets that you need to be on the lookout for throughout the coming week. So we'll try to give those, and later on this pod too, I think we're going to try to throw out some possible bets for this upcoming weekend as well. But these are for tonight, so this is my personal picks for tonight. I got 3 bets in place tonight. I got a 4-pick parlay. It's a plus 13-13. If I hit this, so Joel Embiid over 45.5, that is points and rebounds. Jokic over 37.5, that is points and rebounds. Halliburton over 37.5, that is points and assists. And I got Trae Young over 40.5 points and assists. I'm feeling pretty confident on that one. Those guys, Joel Embiid has been tearing it up here lately. Jokic's had a couple bad games with points. I think he bounces back. His last game he had 8. But I think this game coming back, he bounces back. Halliburton's been tearing it up, and Trae Young's also been on lights out. So we'll see what happens. I also have a 2-pick parlay for tonight. It's plus 2,500. It's very risky, but it's Jokic first field goal. He leads the league in first field goals. And then Sengun, first field goal for the Rockets. He is second in the league for first field goal. So first and second, why not? Plus 2,500. We'll try to make a bag.
I'm doing that. What would you say? Jokic's first shot?
Jokic's first field goal. Yep. They play against the Raptors tonight. And then Sengun for the Rockets, they play against the Hawks. The centers for each. So it's a good chance, maybe run a.
Hey, that's a good one. That's one I usually do.
Post down low.
The first basket scored.
I love stuff like that.
I won some.
Or it's like next play in the NFL. I love those.
Yeah, I had a buddy at work.
Sometimes I get those.
He made over $2,000 on just picking the first basket scored over the last couple of weeks. He got really hot with that. So yeah, that's a really good one. I like that.
Yeah, pick it, man.
Yeah.
If I lose money for you, I'm sorry. But
that's okay.
And then lastly, there was actually a bonus bet on DraftKings tonight. It was Creighton over Villanova. Creighton's actually favored, 7.5 point favorite. They were actually minus 385 or 400 to win this game. Now it's plus 100 if you bet on Creighton. So I put some money down on Creighton to beat Villanova. It is at Creighton tonight. So I will double my money, whatever I put in. So we'll see what happens, or I'll lose it all. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I like that one too. I thought plus 100 for the home favorite. Why not?
Hey, I just placed one right now. It was Jacob Patel, Jokic, Scotty Barnes, each have to have over 1.5 blocks. Michael Porter Jr., OG Anunoby, and Jamal Murray each have to make over 1.5 3-pointers, plus 6,000 on that one.
Plus 6,000.
Yeah, plus 6,000.
You going for that bag?
Yeah.
What'd you do? Drop a house payment on it?
I just dropped about $4 on it.
$4, baby. He gonna cash out. He gonna cash out.
We will see. I'm gonna find that first basket. I like those.
I like that too. That's nice. Get that boy a bag. He said $4.
$4.
Shoot. You gotta throw some real money at that thing, man.
No.
I'm risky, guys. I've been kind of cold here lately, but we gonna hit a good one. It's coming. Yeah, the Jokic and Sengun. Come on, I feel it tonight. So I'll definitely be on alert on those. And we'll try to guys. We'll try to keep y'all updated for that way. If you're listening, which kind of bets we're leaning towards throughout the week. Hess and I are no experts.
No, not at all.
Quite a bit. Sometimes win, sometimes I lose. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
You done play some bets there, master better?
I'm sorry, I'm over here trying to make a bunch of bets, trying to make some money.
Master better.
Master better. Sorry, gotta do what I gotta do. All right, guys.
Gotta do what he gotta do.
College football news. We have some transfer updates. We have a huge recruiting day. Early National Signing Day was today, and we're also going to go over some bowl game recap and some bowl game preview. First on the docket, though, is National Early Signing Day was today. It was a big day. Castle, you had a lot of stuff at the Vols. What did you see from the Vols? How did they do today?
They did very well. I don't have all the list.
You don't have to.
Because there's so many.
Yeah.
Boo Carter was a big one that they had early signing. So it was good to see him. He's actually already on campus,
nice.
Practicing for the bowl game. So very good pickup there. They picked up a really good defensive back a couple days back. Top 10 defensive back from MSU, I believe. We also got a 3-star tight end today. We got an offensive lineman, another offensive lineman, somebody out of Georgia. We actually have, for all you Colorado fans that think y'all have the best lineman, which you do have the number 1 overall offensive tackle for 2024, we have the number 1 overall player from Colorado coming to Tennessee next year. So just want to throw that out there. I don't have his name wrote down, but I just remember seeing that stat earlier today. Like I said, it was hard to keep up with, and because it was like 20 players that I went through. It probably wasn't that many. Andrew will be sure to correct me. But I was too busy working, Andrew, so couldn't really keep up with all of them. But I will definitely get those in check later. But yeah, looked very, very solid. I think last time I looked, they were 12th or 13th in recruiting, which is not where we want to be. We want to be top 5 in the SEC, obviously. But
tough, man.
things have changed. Things have changed in recruiting classes. It's proven that it doesn't matter if you have the number one recruiting class or top 5. It mainly comes down to which guys can you coach for your system. So
That's very true.
I love seeing these 3 stars and 2 stars and 4 stars, whatever they are. Mainly the 3 stars. I love seeing those guys come out and ball out. Like that's the ones you love to see actually make a point, make a statement. So don't matter how many stars next to their name, come give your all for Tennessee, baby.
Exactly. I mean, I agree with you there. Tennessee's actually done pretty good recruiting, but let me tell you the one thing that I actually have liked the most about what I've seen from Heupel is he's doing what Butch Jones didn't do. He's recruiting the players that fit his system. Well, in state, but he's fitting the people that like
in state too.
I feel like Butch went out there. And even Jeremy Pruitt, but he went out there and just grabbed the big name, the big 5-star, which is cool, but it's not basketball. Right. It's football, and you have to pick the guys that fit your system. Brian Long's going to love this, but Frank Beamer was the master at taking a bunch of 3-stars and getting them to play like a bunch of 5-stars because they fit his system. So I like what Heupel's been doing there so far with Tennessee in the recruiting. I don't think it's anything for Tennessee fans to say, "Oh man, we didn't get top 10 recruiting class." I think if you all are if you're in top 25 with what you got coming back, and
I'm satisfied.
Of course, you're satisfied. But we talked about you all and everything. Georgia, number 1 recruiting class in the country, had a huge signing today in flipping KJ Bolden from Florida State. Bolden was the number 16 prospect overall and the number 1 safety in the entire country. He was committed to the Seminoles since August. He's 6'1", 190-pound recruit. He is from Buford, Georgia, which is crazy. Buford High School has only sent like 1 or 2 recruits ever to the University of Georgia. They're like anti-Georgia Bulldogs. It's really crazy, and they're like just 30 minutes down the road. But that gives the Bulldogs 3 5-star commitments.
Probably can't stand those fans.
That's probably what it is, barking at them all the time.
So
that was huge too. Like there was a lot of speculation earlier this morning that Bolden was going to flip, but they were saying he was going to Auburn, and he flipped to Georgia. So that was huge, especially after losing Dylan Raiola to Nebraska, the number 1, number 2 quarterback, depending on where you look. So that was huge for them. Another big one. A lot of people was watching this one. Ryan Day was worried about this one. He was sweating about this one all day long. But Jeremiah Smith, the number 1 overall recruit in the entire country, wide receiver. It was reported heavily that Miami and Florida State were pushing for him, but he kept his verbal commitment to Ohio State on Wednesday. Smith is considered a generational talent at wide receiver and will now be next in line of all the other great wide receivers that Ohio State seems to have year in and year out. You add him now with They've had Garrett Wilson. They've had Marvin Harrison Jr. as of recently, Emeka Ibuka, Jackson Smith and Jigba, who caught the game-winning touchdown for Seattle the other night, Chris Olave. I mean, Ohio State, they just keep putting out the wide receivers, so that's big for them.
Wide receiver U there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's a pretty good get right there. I saw that one come through today too.
Yeah.
I like this take that you put on here. Nebraska, Missouri, and Texas Tech make history.
Mm-hmm.
Neither Missouri, despite its excellent 2023 campaign, nor Texas Tech would necessarily be considered powerhouse programs. I agree with that take. And Nebraska has fallen off its formerly lofty perch over the past 2 decades. Absolutely. They have been horrendous. They haven't even been around. But all 3 schools have made history with their 2024 recruiting classes. All 3 have signed recruits in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that's huge. Nebraska did flip, like you mentioned, number 3 overall player Dylan Raiola, whose father was a legendary Cornhuskers offensive lineman, and whose uncle is the team's current offensive line coach.
Yeah,
where the family at?
If I had known that, I would have said, yeah, definitely, he's going to Nebraska. But
absolutely, your uncle's an offensive lineman coach. Absolutely.
One thing about Dylan here, he's transferred high schools 3 times. And he was committed to Ohio State off the get-go. And then when he transferred to Georgia, he went to Buford High School. So he was throwing to that number 1 receiver in the country. Throwing to him. He transferred. He decommitted from Ohio State, committed to Georgia, and now he's decommitted from Georgia and now with Nebraska. Cornhuskers fans, if there are any of y'all out there listening, I'm not saying y'all need to worry, but this dude's got some commitment issues, it seems like. He transferred high schools 3 times. He's already transferred or changed commitments 2 times in college. So, and you know how the transfer portal is. Y'all better play him. Y'all better give him all the corn he wants.
Yeah, better get that boy some corn.
Yeah. Keep going, buddy.
I don't think he transfers. His family's there.
Family alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Continuing on, you had Missouri in that as well.
Yeah.
Had the second highest ranked signee in the modern recruiting era as coach Eli Drinkowitz. Love the last name. He means business, guys. Connor Stallions apparently helped him get this recruit. He was the number 2 overall player in the entire country. He is from Missouri. He's an edge rusher. He's an absolute beast, and that is Williams. Andrew, go ahead and correct me on this name. I'm not going to get it. I don't know how you can say it. Wainery. We're saying Wainery. I ain't going to say that. No Wainery. I don't even know. Nwaneri, guys. So y'all sound it out and make it whatever y'all want to make it.
Nwaneri.
And then you was talking about Texas Tech there. They had Joey McGuire, who is ranked the biggest recruiting victory in the history of Texas Tech with Micah Hutchinson, and the number 3 wide receiver and number 7 ranked overall player in the class of 2024. So big things happening.
Is that Mark McGuire's son?
Well, that's the coach. So I don't know if that's I don't think that's Mark McGuire's son. I feel like he'd be coaching baseball.
Mm-hmm. It was just a shout out to Mark McGuire.
Cool. But here, I'll let you I'll let you do this next one here because just this next little bit.
My favorite team.
Yeah, I feel like you're gonna love saying this one.
Yeah, Florida pummeled. I can't even speak about it so bad. By late flips. Since November 11th, Florida has lost 5-star CB Xavier Falasame, Texas. 4-star defensive lineman Amaris Williams. God, guys, these names. From Auburn. And then 4-star defensive line Darius Hayes, Miami. 4-star defensive end Jamonte Waller from Auburn. 4-star safety Wardell Mack from Texas. And 4-star defensive lineman Nasir Johnson from Georgia.
Yeah.
That's 6 players who rank in the top 150, which is enough talent to make up the entire core of a top 25 class. Good job, Florida.
Yep, good job.
Way to go. And watch y'all beat us next year. I will lose it.
I mean, that's just crazy if you think about it. If you even look at that, they lost one. All of those players flipped to other SEC schools other than the kid who flipped to Miami, Darius Hayes. He flipped to Miami. So you lost the kid to an in-state school, and the rest of them flipped to Texas, Auburn, Texas, and Georgia. So they all went to SEC schools. If I'm a Gators fan right now, that's alarming because you're the Florida Gators. And, I mean, I don't like them. Jesus. Y'all, this is bad. Like you said, 6 players ranked top. That's a core. That's a core of the top 25 class. You just lost the core of your recruiting class.
Yep. That's huge. Yeah. Hopefully y'all like that energy reading those names.
I love that. I loved it. I loved how you put the emphasis on that. Next one, hard. Notre Dame. Touchdown Jesus was smiling today, folks. They signed a 5-star wide receiver, Cam Williams, and the number 1 offensive tackle, Goobery Lambert. Or Jubery. Goobery or Jubery. I like Goobery.
These names.
I like Goobery. Goobery Lambert. No relation to Zach Lambert or any of the Lamberts of Lebanon, Virginia that I know of. So that was big.
I love it.
Another big sign. Another big. Go ahead. Do you want to talk about? You like Texas?
I like Texas. 5-star wide receiver Johnny Ringo. Just kidding. It's Ronnie Wingo. Sticks with Texas. Hook 'em horns, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, he was actually looking at Ohio State.
Wow, another wide receiver. Could you imagine another 5-star there? That would be incredible.
It comes up.
Auburn also gets top 5 recruit Cam Coleman, a number 2 wide receiver in the country.
Yeah.
A lot of 5-stars here committing to SEC schools.
It seems like it's a trend.
Just saying.
Here's the fun one. I want to do this one because I didn't, and the reason this one's brought up is because of the little tidbit that I got while doing research on this recruit. Penn State got a new target for Drew Allaire. And they're calling him the crown jewel of this James Franklin class in Happy Valley. It's tight end Luke Reynolds out of Cheshire Academy in West Ford, Massachusetts. Reynolds, a Connecticut native, will be asked to bolster the passing offense that struggled against both Ohio State and Michigan. Did not know that Drew Allaire was a former 5-star quarterback.
I didn't either. He don't look like a 5-star out there. I'll tell you that right now. He's got some improvement to do. So that's where it comes again to the stars, folks. Don't get so locked up on these stars. Nope. I've seen 3-stars be top NFL draft picks. So, give me the 3-stars that fit the system and can actually be coached. So, no offense to Drew. I think he'll get there. But Penn State's offense was not that great this year.
He didn't have much around him though either. So
he didn't. No big playmakers. So now he does.
And by the way, I know you want to read this next one. The one that doesn't have a position beside it, that is a wide receiver. So that's what I was going to tell you.
Oh, Marlon Graham?
Yes, that is a 5-star wide receiver.
Okay. Yeah, for the Buckeyes, they land 5-star QB Air Jordan? No, Air Noland.
Nolan.
And 5-star Mylan Graham, wide receiver. My
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Buckeyes. That's 3 in a row right there, 5 stars.
and they
Sheesh. I know I was just talking about the stars, folks, but that's incredible.
Hey, here's something scary. Let's say Marvin Harrison comes back next year.
Wow.
And they had a 5-star from last year's class there, too. So they'd have 4 receivers, all 5 stars.
They already got a QB commit? They ever get that? Not yet.
Not yet. I mean,
Right.
I got a freshman here that's a 5-star. Aaron Nolan going to air it out.
Air Noland.
Here's another one that was pretty interesting. It's kind of nobody's been talking about, and a team that nobody's talked about, but they're typically doing what they do, a top 5 recruiting class. Alabama lands what 24/7 Sports is saying, the number 1 quarterback in the country, Julian Sayin. He actually won the MVP in the West East high school all-star game. He actually outperformed Dylan Raiola. Apparently he's really came on here strong lately, and there's most people outside of ESPN and CBS have him ranked as the number 1 quarterback in this class. So Jalen Milroe's coming back next year, but he's going to get the set and learn that offense, and then we'll see if he turns into a Super Saiyan or something down there.
Super Saiyan! Yep, yeah. That's what's going to happen. He's just saying. He's Julian Saiyan.
Yeah, just... all right, we got Oklahoma.
Wax, man.
New SEC school here. Another 5-star head to the SEC, and defensive lineman David Stone. He is a 6'4", 275-pound man who ate his food that Mama put on the table.
Yeah,
he committed to Brent Venables in Oklahoma, picking the Sooners over Florida, sorry Gators, Miami, and others. The number 2 defensive lineman in the nation. Stone should fit right into the Sooners as they transition to the SEC, and that's what they're going to need. Oklahoma's going to need those big defensive linemen, those athletic defensive linemen, if they think they're going to compete in the SEC. And I think they're the weakest.
6'4", 275?
Yep. And
he's about as big as me. That's crazy.
Yeah, he runs a
big
sub
boy.
540 too. So
David Stone, he be eating stones. My God, to be that big, 275.
I'll let you do this one. This is your second favorite SEC school.
Yeah, 5-star defensive end Dylan Stewart chooses South Carolina. That's all I have to say about that. Let's move on. Dylan Stewart, 5-star defensive end from Washington, D.C., chose South Carolina over Georgia, Ohio State, and others. So that's the first big get, honestly, for Shane Beamer, in my opinion.
He's had some
because he's lost a lot.
He has lost a lot.
He's lost a lot.
Big for this class.
That's a big get.
Thing kind of alarming here. This dude's out of Washington, D.C. Why are these? Why is Virginia Tech, Brian Long? How you letting this boy who lives right on the border of the state?
You're missing another big school too up there, Maryland.
Yeah,
the Terrapins.
I mean, I get why he didn't go to UVA. He probably didn't have the GPA to get there.
Yeah. Oh wow, throwing shots at this boy's grades. Don't even know him. Dylan Stewart might be a 4.0 GPA. You don't even know.
He might be. I hope he is.
He could have went up north too a little bit. Could have went to Pitt.
Could have went to Penn State.
Could have went to Boston College.
Yeah, BC. Yeah.
He wasn't playing the SEC though, baby.
Yeah, he did. One playing the SEC, and I like it. That's good though. It seems like every so many years, South Carolina comes up with that big lineman.
Hey, South Carolina's a beautiful school too. It truly is.
Every time I go through Columbia though, man, it's like 114 degrees, and I hate the roads.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's a nice school.
But yeah, that was some of the big hitters today so far in early signing. They've been a lot of others. Tennessee's done well. Georgia had some other big signings. Oregon had really bolstered that class. They had a bunch of 4-stars and 3-stars signed to both.
Hey, Virginia Tech, don't leave them out.
Yeah, Virginia Tech, they had a lot of big signings today as well. It was the part I didn't look too much in the Virginia Tech class, but it's one of their more solid classes they've had over the last couple of years. And hey, guys, this is just early signing day. There's still a lot of kids that are still undecided. National signing day isn't until like January, February. Could be wrong on the exact date of that, but that's when it all comes together. All the pieces fall together. So we'll see what happens. But some other news outside of recruiting and transfer portals, a lot of people have been talking about what is Oregon State and Washington going to do with the Pac-12 going away. So they are right now working on to be an affiliate agreement with the West Coast Conference for men's and women's basketball, as well as all other sports excluding football. Their working agreement has not been finalized, but is expected within the week, barring any unforeseen hurdles. Did some more research on that. The NCAA has granted Oregon State and Washington State the privilege to continue to have the Pac-12 logo on all their stuff, on their fields, and given them 2 years to bring in schools, to bring in the Pac-12, to build it back up. There's rumors that they're going to combine the Mountain West, bring the Mountain West in. But they will be still affiliated with the Pac-12 in football. They are playing football with the Mountain West next year, but they cannot compete for the Mountain West conference titles or anything like that. But in the West Coast Conference and all other sports, baseball, basketball, those sports, they will compete for the conference and they will represent the West Coast Conference in tournament play. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. If you don't know much about the WCC, Gonzaga, St. Mary's, that's their conference. So basketball, that's going to be pretty fun. Outside of that, baseball, be kind of interesting to see. But that's what they're doing for now until they build the Pac-12 back up.
I like it. WCC. Tune in, guys, to WCC on News Channel 5.
Jesus. Oh, gosh.
This show's off the rails.
I'll let you talk about this one.
Off the rails. Yeah, I can't even get this out.
Can't get it
FSU,
out.
Florida State University, is pondering ACC future after college football playoff snub. All the fans are pissed. All the trustees are pissed. Naturally, they should be undefeated, in their conference. According to the rule book, they should have made it in. Florida State had renewed in-depth discussions about its long-term future in the ACC in recent weeks, sources told ESPN. Mm-hmm. With talks reunited following the Seminoles' omission from the college football playoff earlier this month. The Seminoles have not been shy about voicing their displeasure, obviously, with the growing revenue gap between the ACC and other conferences, the way the ACC distributes revenue, and the size of the share of the television revenue pie, which they believe should be larger based on the ratings and marketability. I agree with that.
Yeah.
To be clear, however, Florida State is not leaving the ACC anytime soon, just weighing its options, is what you wrote down.
Yes. That's what everything.
With that being said, do you see them leaving the ACC? And if so, where do they go? And what impacts does that have on the ACC?
I've said it before. I think last night we kind of talked about it, which I thought was funny. This popped up today. I see them leaving. I've said it for years. Them and Clemson and North Carolina could be perennial teams that leave. Florida State leaves. I see them going, obviously to the SEC. They could compete. They could recruit. They got the money. But the thing is, which would also add on to that rivalry between them and Florida. That would just add more to that. Not only is it now an in-state rivalry, it's a conference rivalry. And I think it would give the SEC the pathway to say, all right, let's get rid of the East-West. Let's just become one, and top two teams make the conference championship. But I think it will be more detrimental to the ACC if Florida State left than it would be to if Virginia Tech left the ACC or if Miami left the ACC. Because Virginia Tech, Miami joined many years ago. They were Big East schools. They joined. Florida State I'm pretty sure they were independent, and then they joined the ACC. They kind of are a founding father of the ACC. And if they leave, that's big because you can't run the ACC with Stanford, SMU, Cal, and those schools. And, I think you see Virginia Tech leave. I see them in the Big Ten. I see Miami. Don't really, maybe SEC. I don't really know where they go. Maybe Big 12. Who knows? But it would be really bad for the ACC if they cannot keep Florida State there.
Absolutely. I like that take. I see them leaving the ACC as well. Just a couple quick facts for you. If they leave the ACC, they have to pay an exit fee of $120 million. That's pocket change to these guys. And they would also need to challenge the grant of rights, which is within the ACC, which is in place till 2036. So lawyer up, Florida State, if you're going to do this. So, and you said they go to the SEC. I disagree. I think they go to the Big Ten. They're not going to be competing in the SEC. If they do leave, this would put the conference up to 18 teams in the Big Ten. And then I also see two other SEC or ACC schools leaving and going to the Big Ten as well to make that division 20 teams. And those two teams that I picked are UNC and Miami.
I don't see Florida State. Them and Clemson are SEC schools playing in the ACC. They have been. They recruit the South just as good as Georgia, Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee. They recruit it just as well. Clemson's been dying to get in the SEC without even saying it because they love playing Georgia. Florida State hasn't lost the SEC school in a long time. They beat LSU this year to start the season off. They beat Florida at the end of the year with a backup third-string quarterback. They can compete in the SEC. Mike Norvell can get them to compete there if he's the head coach. Who knows when it happens. But the way they recruit and what they got as far as money and all that, they would be a top 4 program, top 5 program in the SEC today if they joined, just with what they got.
I agree, but I just see them going to Big Ten.
I don't see the Big Ten. Florida, they'd be smart. They're not going to be out to California schools and say, hey, I want to go play in Northwestern in 35 degrees snowing weather. I want to stay south so I can play in warm weather and play in my state because
Maybe.
they go to the Big Ten, though, they lose their game with Florida. They're going to lose the recruit. It's hard to recruit. You ain't going to get them kids from Naples that want to come up and play a game.
Just going to throw this out there. There is some articles already out that they've applied, reaching out to get into the Big Ten. There's a bunch of articles you need to go read.
I just don't see them leaving for the Big Ten. The SEC's wanted them for years.
Just saying.
SEC's wanted them for years.
Well, I'd love to have them.
Them and Clemson. They've wanted them and Clemson, and then North Carolina's been the other one they've talked about. The only teams I've seen, I haven't seen that about Florida State in the Big Ten, but I've seen Virginia Tech linked to the Big Ten. I've seen Duke linked to the Big Ten, and Virginia linked to the Big Ten.
Make it happen.
I think, but if Florida State leaves, that's the domino that falls. Then that's when the SEC goes or ACC goes away.
ACC's going to blow up. Yep, it's going to happen.
If it happens, we'll see.
No, we'll see.
But
we'll see what happens.
Anyway, while we're talking about the SEC, big news: the Lane train, choo-choo, thing just keeps on trucking. Lane Kiffin signed an extension with Ole Miss. I think he's there till 2028 now. I think is what his extension is. So
long time, almost 2030. Yeah,
5-year extension. I think he's got an option there to stay till 2030. Ole Miss to stay at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin has led the program to their first 2 10-win regular seasons and has agreed to a contract extension. Like I said, they announced that on Tuesday. The terms were not released to that contract. Kiffin has guided the Rebels to 4 consecutive bowl berths, 2 New Year's Six bowl appearances in the past 3 years. The Rebels have lost only 2 of their past 23 home games. Lane Kiffin joined John Voight. Did I say that right? Is that John Voight, the actor? Vaught. John Vaught as the only Ole Miss coaches with multiple 10-win seasons. So, good for Lane Kiffin, good for Ole Miss, and what they're doing so far in the transfer portal in this recruit class.
They're building.
It's kind of scary if you're an SEC team and not a fan of the Ole Miss.
Yep. Yeah, I like Lane Kiffin. Yeah. I don't know how you can, even though he screwed over Tennessee, but can't blame the guy. But, yeah. Ole Miss, wow.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, wow. Good job, Ole Miss. Way to lock down your future there with the head coach. I like it. Feels good.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think he's happy
Maybe
there.
He might come over to Georgia.
I think.
Ooh, wouldn't that be a shake-up?
What a domino.
He does that stuff, He'll just leave in the middle of the night.
I think he's past that now.
Maybe.
He also just shows up in the middle of the day in Knoxville.
That's true. And it says it's kind of quiet. Being a jerk. Love it. Come back to Knoxville. We love you, Lane.
Hey, could you imagine Lane and Dion on the same team?
God, the arrogance. I could not imagine. I don't know whose head would be bigger on the sidelines there.
Speaking of coaches, we had a AP Coach of the Year, and that went to
Kalen DeBoer.
Kalen DeBoer, Washington Huskies.
Very well deserved.
Absolutely.
Yeah, DeBoer was named the Associated Press Coach of the Year on Tuesday after leading the Huskies to a 13-0 record, the Pac-12 championship, and a spot in the college football playoff in just his second year in charge of Washington. Very incredible what he's done there. The Huskies, of course, will face Texas in the All-State Sugar Bowl on January 1st with a spot in the college football playoff championship game on the line. Fun fact here for you, in his 2 seasons, the Huskies are 23-2. Leaving behind the bitter memory of a 4-8 record in 2021 that led to the coaching change, which we see DeBoer at today with Washington. So that's incredible to go from 4-8 2 years ago to what they are today. Very, very incredible job there. So hats off. Well deserved. Give him a little applause there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I like him. He's done well. He's done good.
Clap.
He's done good with recruiting. He's done good with that team, and he seems like the team really rallies around him. I mean, Michael Penix is a big reason for that. So next year, kind of be interesting to see what he does. But they got Will Rogers coming in. So I mean,
Will Rogers, baby.
He's losing a receiver though, and some other players. But hey, I think they're doing pretty well as far as recruiting.
Mr. Rogers.
Speaking of players leaving, we talked about Florida losing players. Another team that's losing players left and right, and that is your Texas A&M Aggies, not the Appy State Aggies, the Texas A&M Aggies. They lost another 5-star. Texas A&M wide receiver Evan Stewart is the latest to leave the Aggies. Stewart was the number 13 prospect overall in the 2022 class. He joins 5-star Walter Nolan and LT Overton from the same recruiting. Lieutenant Overton from the same recruiting cycle to leave the program. In all, the Aggies have now lost 8 of their top 300 commits from the 2022 class. Stewart played as a true freshman in 2022 and was named the All-ACC freshman team after hauling in 53 catches for 649 yards and 2 touchdowns. He led the team in touchdown receptions with 4 in 2023 and also had 514 yards and 38 receptions. He has 2 years of eligibility remaining as the 15th player from Texas A&M to enter the transfer portal this offseason.
Let's just be honest. Anytime you have a coaching change, this happens.
Yeah,
I mean, Tennessee, they went out through all their coaching changes. They lost every player commit they had. Very understandable. If you're Texas A&M, you don't panic yet. You should be ready for a rebuild season. It's going to happen. It should happen next year. Lock it in. Get your guys going. Get your guys recruiting classes. And work from there. You got the money. Make it work.
I think that's why they brought in Mike Elko, though, because if you think about it, this is the 2022 class. That's Walter Nolan, LT Overton, and Evan Stewart. Elko was there. He was helping recruit these kids in 2021 because he's only been at Duke 2 years. So he was there. Right. So I think they brought him in to maybe try to keep the damage control. So in a way, if I'm an A&M fan, I'm kind of like, okay, maybe this isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. But on the flip side of that, again, like you said, coaching change, this happens.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah.
These guys want to go somewhere they think they can be the star, be the light.
Yep.
So whatever gets them a little bit of draft stock. So, Tony Stewart here and Lieutenant Overton, I think they'll do great.
Tony Stewart. Oh.
I think they'll do great, man. Wish them hats off.
Hats off, Tony Stewart. Get it. Hey,
yes,
that'd be a good recruit for your balls to get right there.
I would. Oh, my God, I'd love to have old Nolan up there.
Get Evan Stewart. Nice. Give Nico another weapon. Give him as many weapons as you can give him. Make him comfortable.
Need to give him some more.
Give him everything. Stack that thing where he has so many he don't know who to throw to.
I'd love it, man. Be like Ole Miss. Get old Juice Wells. God, this guy's tearing it up.
Ole Miss. Jackson Dart's going to have some weapons next year. He's going to Jackson and Digba to throw a handoff to. And
it's going to be scary.
Yeah.
That team's going to be scary. Don't be sleeping on Ole Miss next year, folks.
Yep. All right. Well, guys, we've talked about the new players coming in, the old players leaving. Let's talk about what's going on right now. Again, I've stated it. It's the greatest time of the year for college football, bowl games. And we had a bowl game that played yesterday, which would have been Monday night.
Yep.
Am I right? Yeah, Monday night. That was the UTSA Roadrunners versus the Marshall Thundering Herd. And I'm pretty sure I think I picked UTSA and you took the Thundering
Tuesday
Herd.
Night. God, I don't even know what day of the week it was.
I don't either. Tuesday night.
It was Tuesday night.
Sorry.
Sheesh.
Sorry, guys. It's been a week.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the picks.
The peaks.
Back to the picks, yeah. I originally had Marshall. You go 2 episodes back, I picked Marshall. The last episode, I picked UTSA, so I switched last minute.
Yes,
just trying to throw off some of our viewers and listeners because they're trying to beat me in the bowl game. So I'm just trying to let them not know where I'm at, But UTSA, that offense is legit. Marshall off to a big start in this one. They was up 14-0 at one point, and then a huge 21-point second quarter, 21-17 at half with UTSA. Some very cool things that I didn't realize. Cole Pennington, which is son of Chad Pennington. And no, I'm not talking about the guy from Freaky Friday. I'm talking about the quarterback, former Marshall and Jets QB.
Yep.
So he had 258 yards passing. Russian leader was Rasheen Ali. For Marshall with 92 yards, and then the receiving leader was Jaden Harrison with 132 yards.
He was also from Marshall. Another fun fact about
Marshall,
that game.
What was the final on that one? 35-17, right?
Yeah, finals 35-17. Marshall, actually, the stats and everything was pretty much even. Both teams had a little over 300 yards. Passing yards was pretty much even. Fun fact, Frank Harris didn't play. The guy who's been there for 18 years. He did not play. Zach McCallum's son played. So you had not Zach McCallum. Not Zach McCallum. That's the guy we went to school with. Josh McCallum, his son, played in that game. So you had some two former NFL players, their sons playing against each other in that game. And it was actually a pretty even game till just the second half. Marshall didn't score a point in the second half. Got outscored 14-0, which is they couldn't do nothing. They're very unproductive there. But it was a good game. UTSA wins again. Wins a big bowl. Pretty sure I picked that one, so that helped me. So it's the reason I'm not sitting down there with the Appy State Aggies with Andrew Mays right now. Thank you,
Appy State Aggies,
appreciate that one. But let's move on, guys, to the game that'll be going on Thursday night at 8 p.m. on ESPN, the 21st, December 21st, the Boca Raton Bowl from Boca Raton, Florida. Yep, that's it. That's all I got for it. Boca Raton Bowl.
That's all you got, yeah. Congrats, man. Congrats. Boca Raton tomorrow night, South Florida versus Syracuse. A winning record's on the line, folks. Both teams 6-6.
Mm-hmm.
Syracuse and USF meet. I think this is the first time, right? They ever meet.
No,
is that what
this
I read?
is not. They have a series record. South Florida leads this series 8-2.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. What's at stake?
What's at stake? The winner gets to go into the all season with a winning record. Whoever wins this game will be finishing the year 7-6. Syracuse is seeking its first bowl win since 2018, and the first time posting consecutive winning seasons since 2012-2013. South Florida hasn't won a bowl game since 2017 and hasn't finished with a winning record since 2018. What are the key matchups in this game, there, bud?
Yeah, the key matchups. I'm glad you asked, Mr. Hess. It's USF's passing defense against Syracuse mystery passing game. Don't know what's going on there. This is an incredibly odd matchup. USF gave up 301.2 yards per game through the air this season, the most in the country. With primary starter Garrett Schrader hurt, Syracuse plans to start redshirt freshman Braden Davis.
There's your mystery.
Braden Davis is 100% on the year. If you don't pick Braden Davis, I don't know what's wrong with you. He's 1 of 1 for passing in the regular season. Safe guess. Expect more of the Wildcat. The Syracuse ran well this season. If you don't know what the Wildcat offense is, look it up before tomorrow night's game. The teams have some remarkable statistical similarities. Syracuse is rushing for 185 yards per game. USF 184.7, so almost dead even there. South Florida netted 39.6 yards per punt. Syracuse netted 39.4. Both teams averaged 7.3 penalties per game. Both offenses held the ball on average for 28 minutes per contest, and both turned it over exactly 20 times in the regular season. Expected high temperature in Boca Raton, naturally. So high temperature for you, 75 degrees?
Yeah.
That's like beautiful for me. That's sunshiny, happy days.
It's going to be humid. And I said high because I got Syracuse in this game. So I'm saying high because what's the temperature in Syracuse Thursday?
Cold.
30.
Cold. 30. It's going to be ice cold.
Woo!
And that's the way that offense is going to be with Syracuse. Give me USF, baby. Alex Golish.
I got breaking news. Big recruiting news out of the University of Georgia. They have just signed the number 1 punter in the recruiting class.
Wow.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yes.
That's huge.
Good job.
Number 1 punter.
Yes, number 1 punter.
Good job.
Yes. Woo, sorry about that. I got excited. Love the punters.
You took away from my Alex Golish take.
I'm sorry.
Alex Golish, I'm going with USF in this one. Give me the Bulls.
Alex Golish.
Yeah, give me the Bulls.
All right, interesting. The next game we got is the Casparella Bowl. This is played Friday night on, I think it's on ESPN as well, or ESPN Plus if you're on the road. You can also watch it on Hulu because it's ESPN Plus. You got the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Don't like saying their name. They're 6-6 versus the UCF Knights that are 6-6. Quarterback comparison in this game, Georgia Tech has Haynes King. He is 229 completions to 354 attempts with 2,755 yards, 26 touchdowns, but a abysmal 15 interceptions. This guy turns the ball over a lot. On the other side, you have John Reese Plumlee, who threw for 2,073 yards this year, 13 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Kind of close on statistics there. If you add that up, they're about split even there as far as their touchdown to interception ratios. Running back comparison. UCF, I believe, has the better running back here in R.J. Harvey. He had 211 carries for 1,296 yards, 16 touchdowns, but he's averaging 6.1 yards per carry. On the flip side, Jamal Hayes is averaging 6 yards per carry. He had 7 touchdowns and 931 yards. Wide receiver comparison, Eric Singleton Jr. of Georgia Tech. He had 47 receptions for 706 yards this season, 6 touchdowns. He's averaging 15 yards per catch. That's pretty good. It's first down every time he catches it.
That's pretty nice.
And then on the other side of the ball, Javon Baker from UCF. He had 43 receptions for 266 yards, 6 touchdowns, and this dude is averaging 22.5 yards per catch. Just throw that ball up to him, he's going to get you 20 yards. That is absolutely unbelievable.
Insane.
Who do you got in that one, man? I'm going with UCF. Yeah, I can't go Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I like Steve Harvey on that team, too. He's pretty good looking at these numbers. Anybody named Jamal, though, that's hard to turn down, too. And then you got old Plumlee up there, a relationship to Miles and Mason, from Duke at UCF. So I like Georgia Tech in this one because they played really competitive with that other Georgia team. I can't remember their name at the end of the season. They showed out very well. Love how the offense ran. So give me the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in a tight one. This is going to be a tight game, 31-28.
31-28. You really think so? You really think so?
Do I bluff on this show?
Maybe you are. What if you're trying to lead?
Maybe I am.
You're trying to lead these people
Maybe
astray?
I am, baby.
What if you're doing that?
You'll never know.
God almighty.
You'll never know.
Let's move on to Saturday. There's a couple bowl games Saturday, but we wanted to pick the game that we're more interested in. And on my side of it, I picked the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. This game is going to be electric. There's going to be potato skins. There's going to be French fries. There's going to be sweet potatoes. There's going to be baked taters. There's going to be mashed taters. There's going to be everything here. And this game, you got Georgia State versus Utah State, State versus State, and you're going to give me the best 6-6 school in the country. Georgia State is going to win this game all because of leading rusher Marcus Carroll. Marcus Carroll is going to carry this team. He's going to put the team on his back with his 274 carries, 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. Senior from Union City, Georgia, is going to carry Georgia State, and they're going to finish the season 7-6.
Yeah, he's the son of Steve Carroll, so he's a comedian. He's a joke out there. Don't even give me that. Give me Utah State. Big.
Woo!
38-28. Utah State.
If you're curious about it, guys, the Georgia State is a 2.5-point favorite. So, I don't. If big, man, throw money on them. Throw money on them if you think it's going to be big. Change that over under a little bit there. I like that take.
10 point.
I like that take. But you get to pick a bowl too. So where are you going with Saturday? What do you want to
I went serious. I went to our troops with the Air Force Bowl and JMU.
I like it.
Because that's going to be a game. And that one I'm really having a hard time picking, guys. I mean, the Dukes just look good all year. And Air Force has looked pretty incredible. 8-4 season. Nothing to hold your head down about. But I like Jordan McLeod a lot. If you don't know who Jordan McLeod is, look him up. JMU quarterback. Amazing stats. So give me the Dukes. Close.
Dukes close.
Close.
I like
35-31.
Like
close.
Guys, I like that. It's 2.5. JMU is actually a 2.5-point favorite in that. The over-under is 42.5. But you know what?
That's gonna be a game.
I ain't going against the Air Force. That's the people who come in and sneak in and just blow crap up. That's the ones we got that support this country. They fight for us. I love the Dukes. Been a big fan of them all year, but the Cinderella story comes to a halt right here. Air Force wins the game to move to 9-4, and they win by a field goal from 42.5 yards out.
42.5, folks. You heard it here first.
Yes.
Just saying. Tom Cruise is going to fly over in that one.
Oh, great. Love it. Can't wait to see that one. This game also, guys, is on ABC at 3:30 on Saturday, so if you're wanting to tune into that one, should be a very good game in that one. But, yeah, man, college football, we've hit a lot of notes there, guys. I hope that wasn't too much to you guys. I hope we gave you all the information you was looking for as far as college football. But now let's move into the other football, the pros. We have a Thursday night game to talk about, Saints versus Rams. Rams are a 4-point favorite. Quarterback play is going to be the key for both teams, in my opinion. I don't know what you're thinking there as far as the key, but both teams come in 7-7. So whoever wins this game has a really good shot to motivate themselves to make it into the playoffs. So what are you thinking about Saints versus Rams?
Who dat?
Who dat? Oh, I know where he's going with that. Who dat? He going with them Saints, ain't you?
Who dat? Give me the Saints, baby. I love Derek Carr. How could you not? Alvin Kamara. We got some studs there still down in the Saints. I like the Saints in this one. I think they improved to 8-7. I know the Rams are a 4-point favorite, but I always go with the favorites, so give me the Saints.
I like that one. And, hey, maybe you're wanting to watch this game, you have no interest in it, but you're wanting to throw a little money down on it. So you have a lot of things going on out there right now. You can do the first touchdown. First, Los Angeles drive comes to what kind of offensive score? Do they score? Do they punt? Do they kick a field goal? I'm going to say the Rams will punt the ball on their first drive. And then New Orleans, they're going to kick a field goal. And if you pick a field goal, if you get the punt and a field goal and throw 5 on it, you're going to clear about $20. So there's your $20 to go get you a nice lunch on Friday. But I'm going to
both teams punt.
Both teams punt. Both teams punt.
First drive. Both teams punt.
Both teams punt. And that will give you, I'll let you know what that would be for you. If you do both teams punt and you throw 5 on it, you win $18.28.
So I'm talking about, baby, quadruple.
But if you do what I said, you get 20. So you can get that extra upsize on those fries.
Upsize on those fries. Yeah, I'd like a medium, please. Yeah. Give me 2 punts.
I like it.
So I'm going on that
one.
one.
I like it. With that being said, I'm going to go with the give me Matthew Stafford and the Rams.
Terrible pick.
Matthew Stafford and the Rams. They've been hot lately. They've been hot.
Man, I'll tell you what's hot.
What's hot?
That game in Boca Raton up there, Boca. That's what's going to be hot. 75 degrees.
All right, let's talk about...
Ain't nothing hot.
Okay, we'll talk about games that are hot. We're talking about a game that's indoors in a dome. Let's talk about a game that's outdoors in Cincinnati. Saturday at 4:30 on NBC, Steelers at Bengals. Who you got in this one, bud?
Yeah, give me the Bengals. The Steelers are a lost cause. They have absolutely let me down this year. Again, I said in the last podcast that this is the first year Mike Tomlin has a negative season record. I do stick with that. He's absolutely horrid this year. No offense. I'm a little bit pissed off, if you can't tell, as a Steelers fan. So they're going to drop to 7-8 out of playoff race completely. Give me the Bengals in this one. Easy, 35-17.
I like that. I think I don't think it's that big of a scoring game. I think it is actually close. These two teams are pretty big rivals. They usually play each other pretty close. Jake Browning's been playing out of his mind here lately, but I will probably go with the Bengals in that one as well because there's just a lot of issues with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think there's a chance they lose out the rest of the year just based off what I've seen with their schedule. Bengals need this win. Steelers need this win. Whoever wins this game is probably a lock for the playoffs, or at least has a shot at the wild card, especially. But yeah, give me the Bengals in this one. Jake Browning has another great game. T. Higgins is going to be the leading receiver for the Bengals, not Jamar Chase. So T. Higgins, put that down for a bet there. While we're on the subject, though, of the Bengals and Steelers, I want to get your opinion as a Steelers fan, not so much a podcaster or unbiased opinion. I want a biased, I'm a Steelers fan. George Pickens has been in a lot of the news lately, especially after what happened last week of him not blocking on that play and coming out and saying, like, yeah, it really didn't matter. What is your opinion of him downplaying his effort that the critics and media has been saying about him?
Yeah, I mean, he's been lackluster this year. They haven't really contacted him. Mitch Trubisky actually tried contacting him more than Kenny Pickett throughout the season.
And by contact,
Pickens
you mean
was
by
supposed to
throwing
be
the
a big
football
thing.
to him?
By reception,
Yeah.
by actually targeting
Yes.
Pickens. It's proven that Trubisky was actually trying to throw him the ball more. We'll see what Mason Rudolph does. I think he's going to be the initial starter. They said that Kenny Pickett could potentially start possibly this Sunday, so definitely keep an eye on that. Or Saturday, this is a big deal. But I say give me Mason Rudolph. I think Rudolph's better than Trubisky. Trubisky is bottom of the barrel, in my opinion. Absolutely horrible. Best thing he ever had was at the Bears. That'll never happen again. So wish him the best of luck in his career. He should be cut. He'll be back up wherever else he goes. But yeah, as far as Pickens, it is what it is, man. It's a terrible season. You're 500 on the year, 14 games in. You've looked terrible you've lost 4 out of your last 5. You look terrible. Just stay out of the media, man. Just play football.
Yeah. Pickens, he had some character issues when he was at Georgia. I mean, there was some games there. I mean, it was against Georgia Tech. He threw a punch. Then got some,
He hasn't impressed me yet, honestly. And I think that comes down to the quarterback play and throwing the ball. Give him a target to actually try to catch the ball. But he's not impressed me yet.
There were some moments this year. I mean, he is your all's leading receiver this year. He has 52 receptions for 814 yards, 3 touchdowns. And again, I think that goes back to quarterback play. There were some moments this year where he looked like. I mean, you see the potential. You see maybe
it's there
pre-CTE Antonio Brown with this dude. But I also think his character issues and the way he carries himself is the reason that George Pickens dropped so far in the draft and y'all got him. Because at the time, that was a steal. That was a steal of the draft when y'all got him, just based off talent alone. Because he's a first-round wide receiver, but he has the mental capacity of Antonio Brown after he had CT, after Burfett laid him out. So I think he really needs to decide, hey, do I want to be a star in this NFL or do I want to just be a has-been in the next 2 or 3 years? Because that's the road he's going down right now. The kid's got amazing talent, but he's going to blow it all away because of his
extreme upside potential.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. But, yeah, like I said, give me the Bengals in that one. Maybe George Pickens has a good game. Maybe him and Mason Rudolph can connect like Mason Rudolph did back in the day. So maybe we'll see what happens there. Maybe it'll be a connection they've both been looking for. The other game we have Saturday on Peacock is Bills at Chargers. This game's at 8 p.m. Peacock is getting an exclusive game thanks to the NFL's new media deal that went into effect this year. As part of the new contract, NBC's streaming service will get exclusivity to show one game per year from this year all the way to 2028. So,
did you make up a new word? Exclusivity?
I think I did. Sound like a good new word.
Exclusively?
Yeah. Exclusivity
is the word you're looking for. Yeah. Okay, all right. Made up word. I like it.
But yeah, give me the Bills in this one. No Justin Herbert.
Exquisitely.
Stick ain't going to do it for the Chargers. Give me the Bills in this one big.
Absolutely. Yeah, give me Bills. I love Josh Allen. You know how much I love the Bills. Give me the Bills over Chargers. Chargers are terrible. Give me Bills.
All right, guys, let's jump to Sunday. We're going to go over one game apiece. I'm going to pick my best game. I actually wrote it down wrong in my notes. It's not Jacksonville versus Miami. It's Jacksonville versus Tampa Bay. Miami's playing the Cowboys, and I think hopefully Trevor Lawrence plays in this game, because if he don't, this is going to be really detrimental to the Jacksonville's playoff hopes, because Baker Mayfield and the Bucs have been playing really good football here lately. But if Trevor Lawrence plays, Jacksonville wins. If not, Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers win this game, and they solidify themselves as a playoff team in the NFC.
I agree with that take. It all comes down to if he's playing or not. Yep. So I'll go Jacksonville if he plays. If he don't play, then give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah. All right. I like that.
Yeah, I like that take. The game I picked was the Browns and Texans battle of the unknown QBs. It's still for sure. Actually, Stroud was actually listed as likely out this Sunday. So we'll still, probably see David Mills, like you said, and then, of course, Joe Flacco. Flacco's been tearing up for the Browns. I like the Browns in this one. That defense is still very good.
I don't know if
Browns have really surprised me.
I don't know if the Texans will go David Mills. They started Case Keenum last week. They may go back to Case Keenum again. So
Mills played the week before, though, right?
He came in in reserve when C.J. Stroud went out with a concussion, but then they benched him, put Case Keenum in. And Keenum won last week, so we'll see. It'll be interesting. I don't think they've announced who the starter is going to be. Let me look real fast. Maybe they've got something out about it. You said Houston.
I think that'll be a good game, though. It should be very, very close.
C.J. Stroud he's still listed as questionable. John Minchie still listed as questionable for them. Kareem Hunt is questionable for the Browns. So is Jerome Ford. So both the running backs are questionable. Joe Flacco is questionable.
Oh, wow.
And Wyatt Taylor is questionable. Browns got a lot of injuries coming off. But, yeah, it's looking like Case Keenum's leading toward being the starter, but they've yet to announce that either. So that'll be interesting to see. Give me the Browns and their defense. Defense wins championships. Whether they got enough injuries or not, that defense is going to keep them in every game they're in. Give me the Browns in that game.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, guys, we've talked about football. We've talked about college. We've talked about the pros. Let's talk about the round ball. Let's talk about college basketball.
Ping pong, yep.
Nope, college basketball, not ping pong. This ain't Forrest Gump. This ain't Japan. This is America. College basketball.
College basketball.
And we have a new number one team in the country. Who's that, Castle?
That is Purdue. No surprise here. They knocked off top-ranked Arizona, 92-86, I think was the final. Yep. So they earned the number one spot. Levy still tearing it up there. So, Purdue. I think that's the right pick. I think that's the right call. They deserve number one. Yeah. Big night game tomorrow night. So if you're listening, this will be Thursday night. UK versus Louisville. Who you got in that one, Hess?
Give me Kentucky with that one. They're all got a lot of momentum, especially after beating North Carolina. I think that young core is really starting to come together. Louisville's going to hang tough. They always do. But I think Kentucky pulls away in the end of this game. Last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, Kentucky's going to pull away and make it look a lot bigger victory than the score originally should be.
I think Kentucky wins by 10 in this one. I'm 96-86.
I like that.
I like the Wildcats. They got some young shooters, some freshmen in there that can actually light the ball out. So, give me Kentucky Wildcats.
I like that. Not a big fan of Kentucky or Calipari, but hey, I like that. I think they're going to win, like we both said. College basketball's kind of quiet this week. Not a lot of big games going on, but there is a very big game.
There is a big game going on right now. Duke and Baylor are playing.
Baylor.
Duke actually leads at half, 34-32.
Yep, I was just saying. I was getting ready to say that myself.
I took your.
It's fine. It's whatever, because Saturday we have Arizona Wildcats versus the Florida Atlantic Owls. I believe this is a Final Four potential game here. This game is played in the Desert Holiday Classic. It's Saturday at 3 p.m. on Fox. I'm a big fan of Arizona. I've also liked Florida Atlantic. I don't really know who's going to win this game. It's a neutral site. I don't know. As of right this second, I don't know who's going to win, but instinct is saying Florida Atlantic with the upset.
Ooh, I don't think so. I think Arizona bounces back after losing to Purdue. They almost came back on Purdue after being down by almost 20 points. I really like Arizona. I think they get a bounce back win here against Florida Atlantic.
All right. I think it's a close game either way. I think both these teams are very sound.
It'll be close.
Another big news out of Houston. Number 3 Houston. They lost a very big bench player for them, and Terrence Arcianu. pretty sure that's how you say the last part. Arcianu. He's out for the rest of the year with a torn ACL. He was a big key figure in their rotation. He was actually averaging 4.2 rebounds a game, 8.2 points a game off the bench. So it's a big blow for number 3 Houston. They're going to have to put a lot of pressure on freshman Jamal Smith and sophomore forward. Can't get his name, but it's going to be a big blow to that rotation. You got to have a big bench when you come into the NCAA tournament, especially during conference play. That's where teams win. You can have 5 good starters, but if you don't have somebody come off that bench and establish something during rotations and stuff, it kind of hurts. So that's big for Houston. We'll see how they do, see if they can hold a top 5 ranking without him for the rest of the year.
No.
All right. No, sorry, Houston Cougar fans. You're not going to finish in top 5 anymore.
You're out.
Bye.
Nope.
Castle says you're done.
Bye.
All right.
Yep, you're done.
Now they're going to win the national title.
Nope.
NBA news, guys. Let's move on to the pros. Ja Morant, thanks for ruining my parlay. Came back from his suspension and nails a buzzer beater to win. That's not my big take here. What I want to ask here, we know Josh.
I like how you hang on. I like how you put nails buzzer beater. You didn't say shoots a buzzer beater to win.
Yeah,
you
I didn't want to say shoots because don't get in trouble. It's touchy.
Nails. He's saying a hammer, guys. He nailed that buzzer beater.
That trigger finger itching. My thoughts on Ja, or what's your thoughts on Ja? You give your thoughts on Ja first here. As a just
baller,
extreme talent, a lot of talent.
You ever watched Like Mike?
Yeah,
that's Ja Morant.
Jesus,
he's like Mike out there, man. He put on the Air Jordans and he balling. He's balling. I love seeing him out there. Dude can play ball, man. Love it. Love it.
I love watching him play. I think he's a key.
So good.
He's key to Memphis and that team. I don't think he's came too late. There are a lot of people say, "Is it too late? Is it over? Is the season done?" I think
absolutely not.
I think it's kind of close because they are so deep in the hole, and Ja's gonna have to do a lot to really lead that team. But
he's a leader, man.
I look at Ja the same way. I think you talk
on the court, not outside the court.
And I think that's the thing with me. I look at Ja the same way. We're kind of talking about George Pickens here. Extreme talent. He's leading Memphis when he's out there, but he's throwing away that talent outside the basketball court. Granted, he's not being an idiot on the court like Draymond Green, but he's being an idiot outside of it. And basketball, for whatever reason, I feel like there's more, other than maybe baseball, more kids follow a basketball player and idolize them, it feels like to me, more than any other sport. And there's a lot of kids that grew up in bad situations that relate to Ja Morant and where he came from. And then he's out there like, hey, I can be Ja. And then he goes out and does what he does with the gun and just everything else he's doing. I think Ja needs to grow up. I mean, that's my biggest thing. Grow up. You have talent. You have a potential to be a Hall of Fame basketball player. And
every bit of it.
But he could throw it all away with making a stupid decision outside the court. So I like Ja, but my opinion of him, grow up.
Yeah, I think with this suspension, maybe you'll see him grow up a little bit and be more of that team leader. He's definitely the leader of that squad. I don't think it's too early. I think maybe he can be a boost of morale on that squad. So we'll see what happens there with Memphis. But yeah, I love watching Ja.
Yeah,
he's
fun
very
to watch.
good.
Very fun to watch. I'll let you do this next one. I was going to talk about it, but
yeah,
I'll let
boy,
you do it because
my
this is your boy right here. Hit him with it.
Yeah, Damian Lillard dropped 40 the other night. He does join the 20,000 point club in the win, so I was happy to see that with Dame. The Bucks are rolling now. I think they're still tied second in the East. I really like what I'm seeing from the Bucks too. They really got that 1-2 punch, and then Chris Middleton as well. So yeah, really putting it together. Go Bucks, baby. Go Dame. I love seeing it. Dame time, baby.
Dame time.
Yeah. 20,000 point club. Very, very well accomplishment.
It's a huge deal there. I mean, Dame's another one. He's a Hall of Famer. He will be. Whether he wins a title or not, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Favorite player in the league right now.
Okay.
Let me correct that. Yeah, Carmelo hands down. Then Dame.
I got Dame. Dame's one of my top 5 players. We'll talk about that another day, though.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. I like Dame. He's a good guy. Seems like a good guy, at least. But yeah, we got some big games coming up on Thursday. We'll run through them real fast. Jazz Pistons. Who you got?
Jazz. They Pistons extend their losing streak.
You know what? Give me the Pistons. I'm picking the Pistons until they win a game. Give me the Pistons.
Put $200 on it.
$200 on the Pistons. All right.
$200 a bust. I mean it, Hess.
wife would kill me.
Let's see how confident you are.
Pelicans versus Cavs.
I like the Pelicans in this one.
Give me the Pelicans in that one as well. Spurs Bulls in Chicago.
Spurs.
I'm going with
Spurs.
I'm going with the Spurs as well. I feel like they pull the upset there.
God, quit.
I know. Wow.
Give me another team.
Okay. Pacers Grizzlies. Pacers.
Oh, Pacers. Pacers.
Are we going to beat Ja?
Yeah, we're going to beat Ja.
Ja's back.
We're going to bounce back. We're going to bounce back after that Clippers loss.
All right. Very surprising team in the NBA this year. This game's actually really going to be fun to watch.
OKC.
Orlando Magic versus the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks, baby.
Give me the Magic.
Yeah, piss off.
What if Matt McClung's playing for the Magic?
No, he ain't going to. We went over this
What if
debate.
he does?
He's not going to.
Jumped ahead of it here. Clippers, Thunder. Give me the Clips.
That's what I thought you was talking about. Yeah, give me the Clips. They're hot. They're 8-game win streak. I think they're going to extend it to 9. Granted, the Thunder are the sleeper in the West. Nobody picked the Thunder where they're at right now. I think you're seeing like a young Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook trio going on there in OKC.
Yeah, I agree with you. They got a very good young core. OKC's fun to watch. If you're a potential NBA fan,
if you're looking for a new team,
that will be
getting a new arena.
Yeah, they're dedicated to Oklahoma City, which is good to see. Really good to see. That fan base, they deserve it. Let's talk about the
smart owner.
Let's talk about the second best team in the LA, the LA Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Who you got in that one?
Timberwolves.
Give me the Timberwolves.
Anthony Edwards.
Yep, Anthony Edwards, Cat. Yeah, great team.
Number 1 team in the West.
All right, and the final game on Thursday, starting at 10 o'clock. Maybe you're staying up early. Maybe you got NBA League Pass and you're wanting to watch this one. The Washington Wizards versus the Trailblazers.
Ooh, that's a crap game. Give me Trailblazers in that one.
You know what? Give me Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, I'll go.
And the Wizards.
Nah, Portland.
Portland.
Give me Scoot.
All right, man.
Scoot Henderson, baby.
Thursday's going to be fun. It'll be a fun little game for basketball. It'll be pretty fun to watch. As far as MLB, not much going on. MLB's been quite quiet since Ohtani made his deal. We're still waiting to see what Yoshi Yamamoto does. We're trying to see. We're still waiting on Blake Snell. Apparently, Blake Snell did visit and talk to the Angels, which that's interesting.
Yeah, that surprised me.
That's interesting.
I saw that.
Ron Washington, he can do it. Said he's going to.
Yep.
But fun. I think this was pretty cool. Not that it's that big of a deal, but New York Yankees claim shortstop Jeter Downs, who has the opposite initials of famous shortstop for the New York Yankees, Derek Jeter. Jeter Downs, he big upside, big upside with him, but still trying to wait to see how he pans out. It's interesting though. Got another Jeter in New York, so that's pretty cool.
He's 25 years old. His first home run in his career in the majors actually came at the Bronx with Boston. He was with Boston at that time. He's been with the Nationals this past year. Only played 4 games, I believe it was. Very little of playing time, but he's been playing minor league ball. He's actually, you mentioned Derek Jeter, he's actually named after Derek Jeter. That was actually who his parents named him after. So Jeter Downs. He actually waved at Derek Jeter. I was reading an article on it. And Derek Jeter said he didn't know who the kid was.
I waved at him too. He didn't know who I was either.
Yeah, Jeter Downs, very, very big upside potential there. I like picking him up off the waiver. I think that's a great pickup.
Yeah. I mean,
he can play second, third, short.
Y'all got him y'all got him y'all helped the Dodgers because they didn't have no spots to bring in.
It's kind of funny we pick up him and Verdugo because they both beat us in I think 2019. They beat us in the 10th inning. It was Verdugo hit a single and Jeter Downs hit a single before or something like that, and they ended up beating us. So it's kind of funny.
He was part of that trade though y'all did with the Dodgers. He was on the Dodgers farm system, and y'all decided to claim him off waivers. So thanks Yankees for freeing up enough space for the Dodgers to keep Ohtani. Thanks guys. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Anytime. That's what we do.
One of my favorite players I've ever watched in Major League Baseball. Somebody that I think he's so excited to watch, and I love that he's staying in Pittsburgh. Shout out Tyler Bailey and your Pittsburgh Pirates. Andrew McCutchen signs a 1-year deal to return to Pittsburgh to probably, I would say this might be his last season. Andrew McCutchen is Pittsburgh Pirates baseball in my era of watching baseball, so it's good to see him come back. And hopefully we might get to see him this year. If we can go to PNC, that would be cool to see.
Yeah.
And other news, though, the Braves doing what the Braves been doing this entire offseason, trading for players and then getting rid of them. The Braves made a trade with the Padres earlier this week, and got Matt Carpenter, which I was kind of skeptical on why we got him because we really don't have a spot for him. And Anthopoulos agreed, I guess, with me on that one, and we cut him. Matt Carpenter is now a free agent, has free to go anywhere he wants to. That is the 5th trade the Braves have made, and also the 5th time that every player they received from the trade, except for the one with the Mariners where we kept Jared Kilnick, they've released every player that was been in the trade.
Yeah, I mean, I love Matt Carpenter. He's just past his time.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
All right, man. That's awesome. I like it. That's all we got, though. Pro sports kind of quiet. College taking over a lot right now. Final thoughts. What do you got?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas. That's all I got for final thoughts tonight. I think we covered a lot of stuff. Y'all let us know. Like us and follow us on our Facebook and Instagram. Specifically Facebook. Again, we're one off 250. I really want to hit 250 before end of the year.
Yes.
So if we can do that in 2023, that'd be awesome, guys.
Such a short time.
Again, thank y'all. Yeah, thank y'all for coming up to me too, out in public, or even Hess. Messaging Hess, we love it. Even if they're hard takes, against what we say, we love it. Trust me, there's no hot blood here or anything like that. Send them our way. Yeah. I'll just show up at your doorstep, no big deal. But, yeah, send them our way. Yeah. We love it. We love everything that y'all are doing for us. So just shout out to the fans. That's my final thought. Just shout out to all of our fans and listeners. And I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, I'm going to second that. Merry Christmas to all the listeners and a Happy New Year. We will record again on Christmas night. We're going to take some time away from the family and record the podcast because we love you guys that much. But my final thoughts is, and I'm doing this because this fan base absolutely just cannot stand me, and I hope they never find me, but Michigan is receiving NCAA notice on some allegations of recruiting violations dating back to the COVID dead period to university officials have told ESPN. According to sources, Wolverines coach Jim Harbaugh faces level 1 violations of allegedly not cooperating or misleading NCAA investigators about alleged violations. Michigan also faces 4 level 2 violations, which are considered less serious. So another week, another story about Michigan football doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. So good job, Michigan. You guys suck, and you can't play by the rules. So that's awesome. But yeah, guys, happy New Year. Have a Merry Christmas. Be safe out there. Enjoy time with your family. Spend time with your loved ones. Take in every moment you have. To all the guys and women out there that listen, that have kids, take in those moments, guys, because those kids opening gifts is what it's about. It's about that moment when they open that gift and they see it and they light up about it. So take in those moments. Don't let them pass by. Again, appreciate everybody who listens. The text messages, keep them coming. The messages, good or bad, we love it all. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Episode 21 is done. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. Hess is out.
Castle's out. Thank y'all.